right, we are in southwest Louisiana, down near the bottom of it, a place called Avery Island. And this is, of course, Louisiana, one of the things it's known for is hot sauces. And this is the place where they make Tabasco. And you come down here, they've got a beautiful garden set up. We're here on a day where it's not very crowded. It can get that way sometimes. As you see ahead on the left, there's a museum. And on the right side, there's a country store. And they've got a restaurant further over here to the right, 1868. It's how long this stuff's been around. They started this a long time ago. And so if you come here, you can take a tour. It's a beautiful location. Come here, take a tour, and see what's so interesting about a hot sauce. It really has very few ingredients. You know, it's pretty simple stuff, but it's caught on like crazy. Lots of hot sauces in the world, but there's not too many places that don't have Tabasco on the table these days. I've seen it in all kinds of countries, and of course all over the United States. So if you get a chance, come on down to southwest Louisiana and have a taste for yourself. We're headed in now to have some food. They have Bloody Marys that you can make yourself and put different kinds of Tabasco in if you're that way inclined. So come give yourself a thrill. All right, turns out I've steered you wrong. There really is not. They no longer start. Last summer they stopped selling Bloody Marys here. So come and have a more wholesome meal with various hot sauces which you see before you, different flavors of Tabasco, and then drive safely home before you have anything like a Bloody Mary. All right, come in here. This is the museum. You run into a whole bunch of big Tabasco bottles and a lot of history. Turns out there's an enormous amount of history to both the production of this stuff. I give all kinds of details about how it's made and what goes into it, and a whole bunch of history as to the family, McElhaney family, and all the people who worked through the generations. They got all the musicians out there, they got a Tabasco guitar somebody put together, a Tabasco bottle, and all the cultural effects. They've got videos running of things that have come up in popular culture over the years, and a number of videos give you a sense of the place. Somebody told me we're here on a good day as far as the amount of people, because there's really not many people here today. Kind of an aerial view of Avery Island. And that gives you an idea of how isolated the whole production is. And then where it was done. So it says here, it's hard to read, I'm sure. It says, although humans may have first visited Avery Island as early as around 13,000 years ago, attracted not only by its salty springs, but ample wild game, radiocarbon data confirms the presence of Native Americans on the island by 25,000 BC. And here are some of those artifacts that help confirm the age through carbon dating. So lots to see. We're late in the day, so we'll do a very quick walk around. And they make it pretty easy. They've got a tour, kind of a self-guided thing. You sign up for it and walk around to different numbered spots. So we started in the museum, and then as you head out, they've got everything sort of carefully laid out, so it's kind of hard to go wrong. Numbered, where you go 2, 3, which is where we're heading next, around to see more of how the stuff is produced. Now, alligators are kind of the thing down here, so you really wouldn't expect to see anything about bears. But I've eaten all the food that we got, so I'm not giving any away. And then they allow you to walk around the grounds pretty freely. Again, there's not a whole lot of folks here today. So we have pretty much run of the joint. Early way of transporting the stuff. They'll let you walk through the grounds. See some of you got a whole bunch of bamboo gardens here. In the 20th century, a volunteered experimental grower of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And I don't know why bamboo, but they got a bunch of it here. You want to come and just take a stroll in the middle of your eating and drinking. Up here we got a greenhouse where they grow peppers. Once they pick which ones they want to work with. They got huge fields out here. We won't be in them, but in this general area they got big fields of these things, and then they let you go in and there's your peppers in there. I see some habaneros and the regular chili peppers growing. Next we go into where the barrels where they keep the stuff.
Hi, I'm Shandell. I'm a barrel cooper, and I can use the special company. Right here is the Fuego barrels. They come with iron cast, iron rings. We have to change every ring to a stainless steel 316 ring. From there, we would have to.
All right, and then once all that stuff is put in barrels, they're sealed by hand. They're stored here in this warehouse, and you can see how far back it goes. Tons and tons of barrels. And this is the mash from the peppers, kept in these things for 3 years. See how far back I can go. Kept in there for 3 years, and then they start making what you and I think of as Tabasco sauce from this pepper. All right, and then we get to the blending of all that stuff. They take that mash and they, let's see, put it all together, put it in that vault. Go see what blending is.
Here in blending, Tabasco pepper mash undergoes the final steps to becoming Tabasco sauce. The mash is drained and the liquid is mixed with high-quality distilled vinegar and stirred intermittently in large wooden vats for 2 to 3 weeks. The result is Tabasco Original Red Pepper Sauce. But it isn't ready for bottling just yet. After skins and seeds are removed, sauce samples are sent to the lab. where our highly trained specialists test them for quality such as consistency, color, and heat. Once the sauce passes these tests, it is finally sent to the factory floor to be bottled. There, automated bottling lines take over, filling, capping, labeling, and packing hundreds of bottles every minute. To guarantee packaging is perfect, digital cameras inspect each bottle of Tabasco sauce in only a fraction of a second. Still, it takes dedicated and diligent people to make sure the entire process runs smoothly. In fact, a McElhenney Company employee always personally inspects the finished product, and a trained sensory panel regularly taste tests the sauce to ensure high quality. Finally, cartons of Tabasco sauce are boxed and stacked on pallets, ready to ship all around the globe. This time-honored craft, spanning nearly 5 years from seed to sauce, ensures Tabasco sauce's unique flavor is recognized worldwide.
And that's where he goes, sits and blends. It's a lot of Tabasco. And apparently the salt they use for this Tabasco is in a mine that they have. This isn't it, this is just a simulation, but give you an idea of how fortunate this combination is to have the salt you need. I'm not exactly sure where the vinegar comes from, but you got to have that salt. As it said there, salt evaporated from brine springs on Avery Island since 1791. We began construction in 1863. So around the Civil War is when all this started. It was right after the Civil War that Tabasco got its start. And then comes the high-tech stuff. You start churning out those little familiar bottles in mass quantities. With all this constantly moving machinery, which I imagine works 24/7. I have not asked anyone about that, but it would not surprise me if this thing was going all the time to produce today 276,000 bottles and counting, and it's only mid-afternoon. And these people working hard. There was a thing back there showing people who had worked here from 20 to 45 years, and they get their names up on the wall when they do, and deservedly so. These folks are getting it done. Then, after you finish your visit, it's time for merch in the Tabasco Country Store. Again, very few people here. We're in early January, so that might give you an idea of when to come once the holidays are over. Thanks to veterans. Let's see what's inside. Why, they got everything with Tabasco on it in here. You get your hats and shirts. Get you all kind of Mardi Gras stuff. Bloody Mary mix. You can make your own now that they don't serve it. All kinds of large jugs of the stuff. Eat, don't forget to eat. Plenty of t-shirts and all kinds of raspberry chipotle and stuff like that. Oh, and they got a taste test back here. I think that's where I'm headed. Go over here and try a little bit of this stuff. See this? Young lady's pouring out all kinds of stuff for people to try. Oh, that sure does look good.